Are you feeling aimless in your life, like you're directionless and that you're really struggling to define the rest of your life? And that you're maybe applying for positions and you're not hearing back? Well, this video is for you. You have to learn how to fail. And so what Erickson says here is that with this disengaged confusion, you should not spend too much time. Sit down, buckle up, grab a cup of coffee, because let me tell you how to define your 20s and all the other years. So the other day I was reading a book and the defining decades, why your 20s matters, and how to get the most of them. Ultimately, that's the biggest question, right? What do we want to get out of life? Well, in 3 simple steps, I'm going to tell you to watch till the end and let me know how these 3 tips affect you. Number 1, I wanted to talk about a little bit of psychological theory because I didn't want to just talk out of my ass and really like self-help books. Like, for example, I'm reading The Outliers right now, and
it's a self-development book and it's riveting science, self-help, entertainment, all in one book.
How many more self-help books can we read before our brains explode? And half of them say the same thing, right? Erik Erikson, he's a psychologist and he grew up thinking that he was in an identity crisis. He didn't pursue psychology until later years of his life and he felt really lost. Who else can relate? Who can relate? All of us, hopefully. And he's talking about this theory called the identity capital. And what is the identity capital? Everything that you put on your resume, everything that makes up you as a person, all the capital, everything, all the skills that you learn, from the way that you talk to the way that you dress, all your nuances. And how Erickson says that you gain momentum in life is that you use your identity capital and you continue to use that capital to get to your next steps of life, to get your dream job or, your dream relationship. For you, in order to pursue and to succeed, Erickson says, you need to develop your identity capital. Today, I'm talking about your 20s, right? If you're in your teenage years, listen up. This is even better because you have all of this time in your life, your future, right? Time is worthy. It's something you can never get back. It's something that's costly, and whether or not we like to admit it, it can go by really fast. People stay in stagnant positions because they're afraid to experiment. The main takeaway from this book that I thought about was that your 20-something years, they can radically change your lifestyle. Erickson warned himself against spending too much time in disengaged confusion is when you're concerned that too many young people were in the danger of becoming irrelevant. Too many people on the internet. All I hear is, oh, I'm so scared of being irrelevant. I'm so scared I'm not gonna become a doctor. I'm so scared I'm not gonna make my dreams come true. Or people fall into doubts of anxiety and depression because they're stuck in the past or they're stuck in the future. And, being someone that's a self-motivator and entrepreneur, you have to learn how to fail. And so what Erickson says here is that with this disengaged confusion, you should not spend too much time in that. And I think that the pandemic has sent people spiraling into doubts of disengaged confusion. And a lot of people say, like, I'm having a quarter-life crisis, midlife crisis. Learn how to construct stronger identities. And I say this in the sense where you need to learn that experimenting and failing will actually contribute to higher levels of self-esteem and improve happiness, right? This can boost your mood, your happiness. It makes sense, right? At the basic most, like, to become more authentic and to become more experimental and not afraid of commitment, whether that's in love, relationships, career, finance, work, any you might be terrified of, but to make these makes you happier. It boosts your self-esteem. So they talked about this lady named Helen, right? And in this book, she was a recent graduate. She basically had 2 options. She could either work at a coffee shop as a barista, or she could pursue this internship at a digital animation studio. And this psychologist really was like, hey, stop, wait a second, like, if you want to experiment and build your identity capital, you should not become a barista, right? To become a barista, maybe you'll meet people, but people will always see you at the barista level, right? But if you go to an animation studio, there are ways that you can use your capital and continue to build and gain, right? So you open a vast network of ideas and possibilities. And so Helen was extremely against the idea. She was like, I don't know about that. Like, I might just go to the coffee shop. Like, it's easier. Like, I don't have to stress. It's closer to my house. The author of the book was like, please do this for me. Like, you're a quite personal person. Maybe you are struggling, but you know what? Like, you never know. You got to shoot your shot, right? So like Erickson said, make commitments and try and experiment. Got the job at the animation studio, and throughout the years, she moved her way up, and now she's working in film as a director, right? All of these things obviously are a different story, and these are a part of her story. But the main factor is that for you to become fearless and for you to experiment and do all these things, they will lead you to a better lifestyle. That I want you guys to understand that no one has their shit figured out. Working at a hotel downtown, I was also a host. I was a barista in the idea or the metaphor of the book. While I was able to meet a bunch of people that were really transformative in my experience, and that at the end of the day, like, millennials or Gen Z and everyone now, we're going through the most job positions that we've ever had. It was more natural for other people in the past generations and decades to only work at one position or two positions that they worked for to just become an accountant. Studies and rates that have shown that more people have an average of 13 jobs throughout their existence or throughout their 20s. And for me, myself, I've been a server, a hostess, photographer, graphic designer, hustle a lot. So all of these things have taught me identity capital. One of my biggest important jobs was working at a hotel in which I was able to meet celebrities such as Oprah, Don, Cena. They would do buyouts for the TED Talks. So I was able to meet all of the speakers at the nights where I would have to work, and I would bring their coats in, I would talk to them, and they would tell me all about their lives and experiences. And even this one girl, she said, I used to work at the front desk, and then eventually I was hired as an assistant. That's another direct result of identity capital and using that to your advantage, right? To not stay in the disengaged confusion. And if you know that something's not working out for you, if you know that you don't want to go to med school, you know that you don't like this career, you know that this relationship isn't suitable for you, I'd advise you to don't wait and don't waste your time, because down the line that you're going to work in this position as an accountant or as a doctor, and you're going to think I wasted my life away. In order for you to stop that and for you to truly become happy and fulfilled, let's get out of this idea of confusion. Not be afraid to take risks, because ultimately, how many more days are you going to have to take risks, right? And what are you losing, right? If you're losing time, that could be something that's saved much. To end my 10-minute speech, to end this video, I want to tell you guys to definitely check out these books and these podcasts that I linked in the description below, and to also hit the subscribe button, because it's so important for you guys to be on this journey with me. And because I'm also as lost as you guys are, as a graduating senior, no one knows what they're gonna do, and I'm probably gonna get an internship. I just signed one for now, and as a graduate, to get an internship, it kind of seems backwards. It's why are you going back to learn? But I love learning. I think that this will be really important, and say it with me. I'm gonna build identity capital, right? Experimenting, being unafraid to just try the things that I want, and to go towards a career path that may be unconventional to others, but is more conventional to me, and I know it'll make me happy. Do that with every aspect of your life: career, navigation, finances, relationships. I can assure you that whether you come back to this video in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line, either have kids or you don't, you're traveling the world, you're the president, CEO, you can leave your thank you note. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Let me know if this helped you, because if you're feeling lost, I feel like this is a good video for navigation. And maybe send it to other people that you think might help them, or challenge my ideas. Tell me what you think is right or wrong. Do my values align with yours? Yeah, but peace out, guys.